The backhand loop is easily one of the hardest and most frustrating shots in table tennis. Today we're going to share with you 3 tips to instantly improve your backhand.
Actually, 2 weeks before making this video, my backhand loop was absolute garbage. But after I learned the second tip from today's video, my backhand loop instantly became a lot better.
If you're not making contact with the ball at the right area, you might as well not even try. When you make contact with the ball at the right point, the consistency and quality of your shots will skyrocket. When you aim for the left side of the back part of the ball, you're not combating the spin as much, which allows your bat and ball to connect for a longer dwell time. In this case, you're able to impart your own spin on the ball, and this is where you can generate that quality and spin that you couldn't otherwise. In most cases, people are aiming to hit the back of the ball, which is wrong. You actually want to open up your bat to the right, and that allows you to come around the left side of the ball and impart that spin. So again, the spin is too effective here. You're able to create more dwell time from this point and spin into the ball.
2 weeks ago, I was using my wrist in the backhand loop, but I wasn't taking it back completely. I didn't realize it back then, but this is the biggest mistake you can do in the backhand loop. I found that the wrist should be doing around 95% of the work in the backhand loop, but you need to use it correctly. So the proper way to use your wrist is that you need to take it back completely, and a good reference for this is that the handle should be pointing at your opponent. This way you can use your wrist completely and get the most power and friction out of your shot. Just try it out next time you practice and you will see how big of a difference it makes.
The full movement of the wrist is very important, but it's not going to be effective at all unless we use tip number 1. The wrist and the forearm must stay loose to allow for maximum acceleration. If we're tense, we're going to slow our movements and will become more mechanical. The idea is to stay loose and allow the wrist to end with a whipping action so we can accelerate through the ball.
When you're using your wrist correctly, you will find that you don't need to use your shoulder because it will actually make your shot worse. The wrist is a lot smaller and faster to move around than your shoulder. This is super important because acceleration equals quality.